Do you have this strong intuitive feeling that you are just destined to build a business and a life that stands out amongst the rest, but you just don't know how to get there? I feel you, I've been there, and I can see that you are another fellow flamingo just waiting to take flight. My name is Megan Shallows, social media guru and founder of BNL Media Consulting, and this is exactly what I have done through building my own beautiful empire that has become a unicorn in the social media management world, as well as a safe space for entrepreneurs to feel empowered with their digital marketing. All of this was founded on the basis of 3 magical words: breathe, nourish, and love. Are you ready to learn how to be that entrepreneur who shows up online and offline with confidence, has a business that makes an impact in this world, and lives a life full of connection, love, prosperity, and joy? If the answer is yes, then let's go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fly Flamingo Fly Season 2. I ended my last episode and didn't realize it was the end of kind of an era or a season, but it really feels aligned, and I think that's why there was a strong couple-month break in between as I moved into this new chapter of what BNL is going to be, and as well as what my life is going to be. I didn't realize I would be here by, 30. I just turned 31, and it's about a month and 3 days as I'm filming this, into being 31. And honestly, I keep telling people I'm 32, so I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I am 31, and BNL has been growing. And for those of you that have been following along for a really long time, you know where we all started. I was a solo social media manager, just doing my thing, helping small business, using my social media to educate. And I knew it would be bigger, but I didn't know how, and I didn't know what to do. And I just let it kind of slowly unravel the way that it was meant to. And it's been a ride. And for those that are in the middle of their scaling phase, you've got this. I am still in it. It's not fast. I'm going to tell you right now, scaling a business is not a fast thing to do. It is really interesting when we hear about these unicorn companies that go from making no money or like maybe $500,000 a year to 10 million in like a year. And I'm just like, how do they do it? That is definitely not my story. We are unicorns in the industry, and which I love now that I just learned this term that unicorn is used for tech companies that grow exponentially within a very short amount of time. And I just am here to tell you a little bit about where we're at now. I was realizing that I was so stuck in feeling like what I needed to write for content. And I say, because I like to speak a lot, say for content. And I had no idea where to start. And because it feels so different, and I've delegated, for those that are following, I have allowed the team to support me in building out the social media, because it's not just about me anymore. And they have so many gifts and talents that just weren't coming through on the feed. And I'm so excited to have them being able to do that. It's been an absolute pleasure watching them grow, and an honor, really. And it was easy to hand it over. I was at a point where I had delegated a few things in our social media strategy for BNL, but I hadn't delegated everything. And as soon as I delegated it, they just blew my mind. And they love BNL. They love BNL as much as I do. They love our clients as much as I do. And they're working their magic. And I'm just so excited for all of you to be able to watch that. If you haven't, take a look at BNL Social. You can see some of their awesome Reels magic that they've been working on and having fun with. And yeah, so start of season 2. I'm not sure what the theme is going to be of season 2 yet. Season 1 really felt like the lessons that I learned of driving and navigating solopreneurship, and also my own story of just how I became an entrepreneur and how I navigated the first round of being an entrepreneur, in that not sure what we're doing, kind of know a project and know what we're gonna, like, what the outcome's supposed to be, but have no idea how to get there. And by the end of that season, I would say, we arrived. BNL has arrived, and I moved from being this solo entrepreneur to definitely stepping into a CEO position. And it's been uncomfortable at times to be a CEO. I always have had like CEO and founder written on my signatures on my emails, and whenever the government asked me to tell them what I do for a living, it's CEO/founder. But I never really owned that title and didn't really know what that title meant and how much power and responsibility comes with that title until probably about 2 weeks ago. And the journey from doing BNL all by myself, I didn't have as much responsibility. And at the end of the day, it was about making sure that I was taken care of, and it still is. And then I slowly added a few people around me, but they were contractors, and they would ebb and flow with the ebb and flow of the company. So if if month wasn't good, then the cash flow, we would decrease, everyone just wouldn't work as much and all of that. Whereas we've transitioned into a whole team and a team of unicorns, as well as employees and benefits and all of those amazing things that come with building an established company that's not going anywhere. That's a lot more responsibility, and I wasn't quite sure how to hold it. I still am wavering sometimes, but I moved towards my mentors in my life. You'll hear me mention women like Andy and Cindy and Michelle, and they're all women within the Living in Balance Seminars program who have built amazing businesses and huge teams and net worths that are quite substantial. And they have come alongside to support me in expanding my capacity and my emotional maturity. Because when you do step into that CEO position, you're no longer simply just a person doing a business. It goes from side hustle, then you own a business, and then all of a sudden you have this kind of empire-like thing that feels like it has what's the word? Legs of its own. It has its own mind and its own energy force, and you're just kind of holding it. And that's kind of what it feels like right now. And so hiring employees, transitioning from the contractor model, which we've almost completely removed our contractor model. We have a few contractors that support us behind the scenes for admin purposes mostly. But otherwise, it's all employees. And we also added benefits. And these two big things, this big shift, has allowed BNL to grow and to have consistency and to have stability. And there's stability and security for all. It's just been so magical to be able to give back in that way. And I never thought that would be something that I could do. I remember when I first started my business, I was like, I'm never having employees. That's never something I want to do. I don't want that responsibility, da 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 da. And I had to change that script because I realized I do want that. I do want to be able to provide an amazing workplace for young digital creatives who are wanting to get into this industry and wanting to expand their knowledge and capacity to succeed on social media for not only themselves, but for other businesses, and to keep their skills really relevant and to expand and enhance their creativity and really focus on those skills that maybe need refining. For us, a lot of our team and me as well, is it's all in the details. This is something that we always bring it back to because it is about the details with social media, so much so. And it can be a really hard thing for the brain to wrap around. So that is a big muscle that most of our team, all of our team, really strengthen every single day with the work that we do. The purpose of this episode is to talk about delegating. Releasing the need to control. That's one thing that I've learned within my company and growing this is, in order for it to grow, I need to slowly let it go and have that mind of its own and energy force of its own. Because if my energy gets in the way, it stops. Everything stops. And and you can see it. You can see it in the money. You can see it in the clients. You can see it in the leads. You can just see it everywhere. And so delegating, the key is to start small. Don't just go, I highly recommend not going from solopreneur to 10 employees. It's too much too fast. And I don't know how people do it. If they do it that way, it doesn't feel sustainable, and it doesn't allow the opportunity for the company to grow in the foundation, with a strong foundation. And that foundation always comes back to having a really strong foundation. And so for me, like when I delegated first the things that I couldn't do anymore. Like copywriting, I just couldn't do. My brain was too full. Admin work, bookkeeping, accounting, like I got all those organized and solidified before moving towards more staff. Those were really good. That was really powerful and it opened up more space. And then I created that contractor team, which a lot of you who are listening probably have seen that ebb and flow through. A lot of them are really successful entrepreneurs now, and I'm so excited to see them grow and to expand their own businesses. That's so wonderful. But I realized that I needed stability within my company, so that's when we decided to switch to the employee model. There was a what is the word that I'm looking for? A plateau. BNL hit a plateau, and the plateaus are usually signs of, and the plateau is in the cash flow. Plateaus are usually signs that the business wants to grow, but there's nowhere to go. And so I hit a plateau with my contractors and was like, okay, is this where I want to stay? The answer obviously was no. And so I wanted to grow to the next one. And that was when we started making the shift. And that slowly started with part-time employees. So I didn't want to go full in with full-time. So I started with part-time employees. The ones that came through, they were amazing. They are still with us today. And a lot of them are anyways. And they slowly, so we could all slowly grow into full-time. And that has been a game changer. There are many days when I am just so grateful that I know from the hours of 8 to 4 or 10 to 6 or 9 to 5, I can reach someone that can help me do something. And it also puts our clients at ease knowing that they can reach someone in order to do something. And so the consistency of employees was needed by a certain point. And I had to really listen to my intuition of when that point was, but I did look to the cash flow and the business growth to allow it to tell me kind of tangibly that it's time. And so BNL just went through another growth restructuring, which is always a really wild ride. It happened last year around this time. And it happened again with absolutely everything that's been going on. We just needed to do it. And everyone was hit ceilings in their positions. And I'm like, okay, we got to grow. And that was the beginning of something really beautiful. And we're in the midst of it now. The transition has just occurred and they are doing amazing. And I couldn't have imagined doing everything without them. I had download. I call it a download because it feels like a voice outside of my head that's just telling me, okay, this is what you need to do. And then I draw it with my markers. I have Crayola markers and 11 by 17 pieces of paper where I basically draw all of my business ideas and do all of my business work on. And that has been a game changer. Highly recommend if you ever need tools to allow your intuition to speak through. Go back to the basics. Go back to when you were a kid, drawing out plans and things via using felt is amazing. And so everything has been going smoothly. They have done an amazing job. The new people that have come in, the wonderful unicorns of BNL, the new ones, the social media managers are just doing so well, and they've transitioned very quickly. The flip when I had the idea took maximum 3 weeks. And so now the space is open. Everyone feels like they can breathe again. No one feels like they're stuck in a box where they're just working and no room for creativity. And so everything has expanded. So BNL has gone through that again. And that's what you'll notice when you have employees. They constantly keep growing and they grow really fast. And I don't know, I can't speak to the history of employee life back in the day. But now it's just, they move so quickly. And what I noticed based on my own employee experience was that when I hit a ceiling, there was just nowhere to go. So I quit. And I don't want that within BNL. I don't want anyone to quit because they can't grow anymore. So everyone has just continued to level up, and we've created new positions where we didn't know they existed before. And it's just been so wonderful to see that growth. And with that has allowed more clients to come through again, and the plateau is slowly going away. And so that is something to always watch as you're growing and stepping into that CEO role, and you're stepping back and you're allowing people to work within your business so that you can work on your business. Is that's what you need to monitor. You turn what I've noticed as a CEO, which has been something really hard for me, is at first I just stepped back, and then I started feeling like I was losing control of what was going on. And so I moved forward, but I watched myself try to micromanage, and no one wants to be micromanaged. Even I don't want to be the micromanager by accident. So then I had to step back again. But like, I didn't know what was the in between. And I called Michelle, one of my Living in Balance mentors, and we discussed overseeing instead. And she challenged me to start overseeing what's going on instead of diving back in because you feel like you're losing control, or stepping right out and allowing the company to not do what it needs to do because you're not there to support it. And so that's where I'm at right now, is in this overseeing stage and figuring out what that looks like for me. I've even written it down. What does overseeing look like for me, and how can I do this successfully? And so I'm excited to start doing that, and to really kind of, it's like an owl overlooking everything and making sure everything's running smoothly and that everyone's feeling supported and moving through that. So with all of these changes, I have learned so much about how to have that balance, and how to hold the responsibility. If you at all feel scared of having that responsibility, I highly recommend moving towards people who can support you in growing that. For me, it has been the Living in Balance space. I will say it again and again. I can't imagine any woman entrepreneur not trying to test out this space to see if it's a good fit, because the support that you get is absolutely insane. And I have never felt alone during this process. And I know without them and without that support of like-minded women who are so aligned, and there is no drama and there is no competition, it honestly is just making sure that women are coming alongside to support the younger women, the younger entrepreneurs, to thrive and to not get stuck so that they can keep breaking through their own ceilings. Like I said, employees keep expanding and growing, and they hit their ceiling of growth within a company, and you either let them leave or you help them expand. It's the same for you as a CEO and an entrepreneur. You start as a you start as a side hustler, then you become a solopreneur, then you become this entrepreneur that kind of has something going on. And then after, you are a CEO once you've established the business and it starts running on its own. And every single time I had to move into those new arenas, I had the support of the women to make sure that I kept moving forward, because there are so many times I wanted to throw in the towel. And that's full honesty. I haven't heard a lot of people tell me that they've wanted to just throw and quit, and then but they didn't. Usually I've heard they've grown something and then they change direction and start a new company, and they don't keep growing that other one. And so I am really grateful for that. And I cannot wait to hear how your journey towards the CEO lifestyle occurs. The responsibility is huge, but it is so worth it when you see how much you are able to support the next generation into this workforce world. And so I will leave that here. We are about to hit 20 minutes, and I'm excited that I made it. And with everything that's been going on, delegating and expanding our businesses, if you ever start to feel like social media is starting to become a chore, and you aren't loving it anymore, and you need any support, you know that BNL's Unicorns, the social media managers, unlike any other social media manager you will ever encounter, are available to help with Reels editing, finding trends and helping you get on those trends, creating graphics, writing copy. We don't just manage social media, but we do content creation. I personally do consulting. We have templates and calendars that we can help build for you. All of these things are available at a la carte options. And it isn't just, you don't have to just buy the big ticket item. We are here to support everything. So if you need to start delegating social media stuff, but you don't want to go all in, BNL is here to help. We have an amazing team that is here and would love to support you anyway as you continue to scale. So when you are looking for contractors to outsource first, we are here for that social media piece, and we'd be excited to come alongside and ensure that you are super successful. So if you ever need to chat with us, you can always check out our website. There's a contact form. I am connected to that as well. And if you ever have any questions, you can find our team over at BNL Social on Instagram. Give us a follow if you haven't followed us. And we look forward to connecting with you every single day. And I can't wait for the next episode where we will be chatting about some more exciting social media things. Keep us on top of your mind. And if you ever have any friends or family that are growing their businesses and complaining about social media, we are here. All right. Have an amazing day wherever you are, day, night, morning, and I cannot wait to chat with you again. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Fly Flamingo Fly with BNL. We are so grateful you stopped by, and we hope that something from today's conversation ignited the inspiration you were looking for so that you can keep moving forward towards the life of your dreams. This podcast was produced by BNL Media Consulting with the amazing help of Podigy Podcasts. We'd love to hear your takeaways from this episode, so be sure to leave us a review, as well as give us a follow on Instagram at BNL Social. If you need any help with your social media marketing, feel free to visit our website at www.bnlmediaconsulting.com, and we would be more than happy to support you. We hope you have an amazing day, and we cannot wait to connect with you again next time. Have a good one, everyone.